All right, how's it going? Welcome to the Rich CELENZA Show. WTF are you talking about? So I was at the gym yesterday, and I did a video actually on something similar to this subject, which is basically kind of obviously getting a program down in your head or getting some type of focus when going inside the gym, even before you step into the gym. Kind of understanding what the gym has to offer, figuring out what really works best for you, obviously. And the bottom line is, if you're going to be going to a gym, you have to have fun. And also, to get the results you want to get, you're going to have some type of intensity level and obviously stay focused. These are all kind of common sense things. Hopefully, I've gone through before, either on my podcast or my Mastering Self-Confidence programs. But I also notice a lot of guys become very moody in a gym. I think I used to be one of these guys too. You get to the gym, you get pissy because it's either overcrowded, can't get on your equipment, or you don't feel you're not feeling it that day. You're a little pissy. You're tired. If you got a workout partner, he may even be late, or he didn't show, or you got a partner that all of a sudden you want to do chest and tries, and then all of a sudden you're like, dude, I want to do legs, whatever it is. All this type of shit to piss you off, which can throw you off your game. And don't let that shit happen at a gym. A gym is there to have fun, kick it in the ass, and get out and move on. Now, again, if you're a professional athlete or you're training for other things, that's a whole different game. I'm just talking about people that want to get in shape, either gain weight, lose weight, just live a healthier lifestyle. But the other thing I realized a lot of times, too, is we judge ourselves at a gym by the gains we're getting consistently, obviously, and we want to keep making gains. But a lot of times you are going to plateau. So you have to acknowledge that. So, for instance, when you start working out, you're going to be probably hitting, say, I'll just use bench press for an example. When you first start working out, most likely you're at your weakest point, or, you're at whatever, and you're going to start seeing some really great increases. The first, I'd say, 3 to 6 months, you're going to start seeing great increases. But just because your weight and your reps increase a lot of times or become easier does not mean that's going to go on forever. You have to acknowledge that. If it was the case, we'd all be bench pressing thousands of times. It will plateau, and you cannot get nuts or let that throw you off your game. I kind of was obsessed with getting bigger and bigger and bigger, right? I had what was called, I call it reverse anorexiism. No matter what I did, I always felt thin in the mirror. Even when I got up to 245, 250 pounds, I was a nutcase. No matter how much I bench pressed, I had to keep bench pressing more. No matter how much I squatted, I had to keep squatting more. Thank God I wasn't into drugs. I'm definitely afraid of needles or steroids or anything like that, because I would have been the lunatic literally trying to be 300 pounds, going heads up with Dorian and Ronnie Coleman. I would have just been, I was already bonkers. But here's the thing for most people. And most people have a lot of drive when they go to the gym. You are going to plateau to a certain point, okay? There is going to come a time where bench pressing, squatting, deadlifting are all these things. And you're going to, as far as strength goes, I'm talking about, and even doing reps and all these things, you're going to start leveling off. And and even you're going to start having days where you start to decrease a little, because some days you may have more energy than others. Or you may, your body just may be more fatigued. You may not have gotten enough sleep. You may have a hangover. I don't know what the fuck you got. But the thing is, don't take all that shit so seriously. It is only a workout. It's like a meal, I say, right? Every time you eat, do not get caught up if it was a fantastic meal, it was a great price for a great meal, or it was exactly what you're looking for. I mainly like to eat Italian food, so I know what I'm in store for. But I do eat meals, and I even eat junk food or this or that. I don't even remember 3 months ago. I can't even remember 2 weeks ago what I ate. If you're eating on the average 3 to 5 times a day, that's very similar to working out. You can work out once a day for 3-4 days a week. At the end of the year, how many times have you worked out, right? You're not going to remember all this shit, so don't get caught up in that bullshit where if you go into a gym, you're not as strong as you were before, or you're not getting the gains you are getting continuously. Again, this is not for professional athletes. This is just for the regular Joe out there. And also, a lot of times when you're doing your reps, your sets. But when it comes to reps, a lot of times we count our reps. So if you're doing, 8 to 10, 12 to 14, I don't know what you're doing. You could be doing 16 to 20. And I'm talking more now lifting weights. Something in that nature, where People get frustrated. They're counting. They're not doing as many as they did before, or they will do as many, but they'll start cheating, whatever. But here's the deal. A lot of times go into a gym and don't even count. I realized a lot of times with our mind, so even if we feel strong that day, say we normally only do 12, as soon as you hit like 8 or 9, you already think I'm only usually do 12, or I get fatigued around 12, or I want to, whatever it is, just go in and balls to the wall. Don't even count. You want to count your reps, obviously, but you don't want to always you don't want to count your sets. It's kind of obvious you're going to do 9, 10 sets, 12 sets, whatever you do. But reps-wise, just get in there and go to failure if you can sometimes, and then go beyond failure. Push yourself. Don't even worry about the numbers all the time. Because I think numbers are good. They give you an idea, though. Obviously, you want to push past something. A lot of times, that's where you see your results as far as improvements. But also, I think a lot of times we let that number mess with our head, right? Even if you're having a bad day, if you're bench pressing, like I used to bench press, say 315, 10 times, I'd go in sometimes, especially towards like when I was starting to get a little weaker and older. I started to do it 9 times and then 8 times. Then I'm like, Jesus Christ. It comes a point where I never got back to 10 times. But then I just said, once in a while, fuck it. Just lift weights. You don't have to be caught up in putting 135 on, 225, 315, 405, 455. There was like almost increments that were burned in my head. Same with squatting as well. I had to switch it up. Now I'm not doing 315. You're going to be doing 285 for 10, right? And as time went on, maybe 265 for 10. And then instead of trying to do 405 for 3 or 450 for 3, that's gone. Now I'm at 405 for a few. Then as time goes on, Father Time will get a hold of you, I can assure you. And regardless of what age you are, don't get caught up in that. Just start really looking at the results you're getting for your body. I call it Michelangeloing. You really want to start looking and feeling your best. But again, don't get caught up in a lot of negativity in the gym. Even if you blow off a week, no one gives a shit at the end of the day. Just come back and do your best. Even if you don't feel good for a month. Whatever the case may be, shit happens in your life. My daughter had a liver transplant. I almost had to take a year off of weightlifting. I mean, I couldn't believe the strength I lost, the weight I lost. But I came back. And that's the thing. And I came back slowly but surely. I kind of knew my body well enough at that point in my early 30s what to do. But you can't. If you're not getting the results you want, that doesn't mean you should quit, okay? And as you're getting older too, that doesn't mean you should be doing less working out because you're not as strong as you were in your youth. And I see tons of guys trying to play the catch-up game when it comes to working out, man, trying to hold on to their youth. The ego, man, you've got to let the ego go at some point in your life because what happens for the most part is you just start damaging your body on so many different levels, especially your joints, obviously your muscles, your tendons, your just injuries start coming. One of the strongest guys I know, a little guy, I mean, he is, I don't want to mention his name, but he was a goddamn machine, but he will not let a lot of this go, and he's just having more and more problems because he keeps lifting heavy weights, holding on to the youth, and it just doesn't work. And even if you're thinner or you're younger, you want to always keep in mind you're lifting weights to help your body. You want to condition your body for longevity. You don't want to lift weights. And I've done this to hurt yourself, right? And you also don't want to gain tons of weight too quickly or be overweight because you want to look a certain way, which I get. But as long as it's not damaging your health or your heart or many different things, just keep that in mind. So I just want to mention that on the podcast today, mainly because I've been looking at a lot of my old school bodybuilders, and a lot of them obviously are nowhere near the size they were, but a lot of them are having health issues. I'm not going to start mentioning them, but you could just see what they've kind of damaged their bodies, their skin. All you're hearing about is them in and out of the hospital, recuperating, and a lot of them were extreme, I get it, but it catches up with everybody. So really take care of yourself. Also, when you're going in the gym, try, a lot of times you expect to always be doing something or excelling. A lot of your lifestyle is what's preventing you from excelling. So don't think like working out and then that, a lot of people do this. They work out really hard and then they party really hard and they think it offsets it. Well, it does to a certain degree, I'm not going to lie, but as time goes on, it will take a toll on you. And same with eating. If you're going to eat shit food all the time and still work out, I know tons of guys that still do this, which is fine. You could do whatever you want to do, but don't expect great results if you're beating your body down. When you're younger, you could get away with a lot of shit. You know what I mean? You can stay up all night, you can do this, you can do that, and come in there like gangbusters. But as you get older, if you're expecting really good gains or consistent workouts where you have a lot of energy, then you really got to pay attention to your sleep, your eating, and just your lifestyle in general. Even your work, you know, how hard are you working? Is it taking a toll on you? And if you work physical labor, that's a whole different game. You guys are in your own world. I don't do that, so I know that's something you've got to figure out as well. Incorporating great workouts with somebody who's working in physical labor, that's really a tough thing to do. But I know I did it for years too. I was in the vending business my whole life with my father for the most part. We were basically a moving company. All I did was move equipment for the most part. You know, billiard tables, jukeboxes, all different types of video games. And I couldn't do my workouts now, even come close to it, and still have that type of job physically. I mean, that was definitely when I was younger. So again, thanks for checking out the Rich CELENZA show. WTF are you talking about? Take care.